Okay. Thank you everybody for showing up. It's really happy to have you guys here. Well, before we talk about video testimonial quickly, like 2 minutes, I just wanted to give a little bit of background about myself with no presentation. So, you know, my company is Lay Production. I have been doing, as a professional director and editor, I've been doing this for over 30 years. Initially, it started my career in Israel. I'm for those who don't know, but I think most of you know, I'm Brazilian in origin, and also Israeli, because I lived there for 23 years, and that's where I started working with video, and worked in television there many years, as in sports television, doing documentary, promo, stuff like that. And then I came to the US, worked many years as a creative director, doing animation for ad agencies, big ad agencies, until I opened my company. Now would be 9 years ago. It was another company called Video SEO Pro. I don't know if any of you knew my company. And with the pandemic, I started my new company, parted from my partner, which is still a good friend, David Vogel. Some of you may know him. And I started Lay Productions. And it's a company that really focuses on remote video production. That's it. I think that's enough about me. So I will I'll share my screen. I do a brief presentation about client video testimonials and how to do them. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A. I do have a PDF that I will share with you at the end, so you can download with the contents of my presentation. So you don't need to take notes. Like, if you want to take notes, you can, but okay. So that being said, let me start sharing my screen. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is Lay Productions, my friends. So this is my logo. I love it. And so today I would like to talk with you about client video testimonials and why I say that they are actually the ultimate tool to help you close more business. So come with me. So before we talk about video testimonials, I would like to talk a little bit about sales. One of the most challenging parts of sales, as everybody that deal with that, and all of us do, is overcoming objections. And most methods to overcome sales objections are based on a live conversation with a potential customer. But what about all the people that check you online, and because of their objections, they never give you a chance to talk with them? So that's where video can help in a very effective way. For potential client has the chance to watch a video you created that addresses most of the common objections people usually have to your services or products. The chances that they will end up contacting you will increase a lot. So since we're talking about sales, let's talk numbers and how effective videos actually are in helping potential customers overcome objections. So here's a research by Weisel that shows that 91% of people feel that video is a good way to proactively overcome objections in the sales process. And more than 89% of them believe that their businesses would benefit from using more video in the sales process. So we can see that videos are in fact effective in helping people overcome objections and then maybe contacting you. Now, there's an an additional advantage. Also, when people watch these videos, contact you, they are already what I would call warm leads, meaning you don't need to work hard to address their objections. We can safely say that in addition to helping you recover lost leads, video can also make your sales process shorter, again, because they are warm leads. There's an additional advantage. Also, when people watch now, you can use many types, you can use many types of video to address sales objections, not only one type. Now, we will talk about one type today, but so it could be sales videos, it could be product video, could be social media videos, and even a branding video. Again, but the type of video from my experience that does it best, it's, of course, client video testimonials. Now, so let's take a look at the reasons for that. We can start by examining why testimonials are important for a business. For one, you don't want to tout your own horn, but the main reason is trust. So who doesn't check reviews or testimonial before buying anything these days? Everybody checks those. So let me bring you again some numbers to make it clear how reviews are important. So another research here shows that 98% of people look at online reviews about a local business before making any purchase. And another research, that one, another source, shows that 95% of people say that reviews, both positive or negative, have some influence in their buy decisions. We all know that. Like, you buy something on Amazon, you always take a look at the reviews before you buy. So testimonials are better, are important, but the question is, okay, what works better, written reviews or video testimonials? Now, written reviews are easy. Or are they? I say, well, I mean, they're easy for you, not so much for the client. Like you ask a client to write a review, and they're the ones who need to write it, yeah? Unless you give them a ready-made blurb and they adapt it. But then, is this a real review? I'm not so sure. And here comes the main problem with written reviews. Again, trust. People tend to look at written reviews and ask themselves, is this really what the customer said, or has it been embellished or doctored? Because it doesn't matter, guys, how honest you are. You know that you are honest, but people still think that about a written review since they don't know you yet. Okay, so now I know the sentence I'm going to show next is way overused, but that doesn't mean that it's not, that is less true. So you'll forgive me for the overused sentence, but people do business with someone they know, like, and trust. So one of the main advantages of video testimonials is trust. Like, you see a real customer talking, using their own words, talking about how you help them solve a problem. I'll play a few seconds, not too much, of this video testimony here for you to see. This is just an example.
We knew that we needed to be in the digital world. We had an e-commerce site that was barely performing. We had heard lots of acronyms and words and names of things that we knew we needed to somehow do, and we didn't know how to do them. We decided to work with Open Moves because we knew that we needed to work with somebody that we could relate to.
Okay, that's enough. But you see here, you see and you hear a real person. There's no doubt that they are the ones who said whatever they said, and the message resonates with the viewer. So, it increases the chance that they will contact you. So, another reason that video testimonials work better than written reviews is empathy. A good video testimonial will cause the viewer to empathize with the person talking, to feel that the problem that person is describing is the exact problem that they have. And therefore, your solution for this problem is exactly what they need. And again, I like to back up claims with some numbers. So here's another survey that says that 79% of people say that they've watched the video testimonial to learn more about a company they wanted to do business with, and 77% say that video testimonials have played an important part in convincing them to buy a service our product. So if a person thinking about doing business with you, but wasn't sure that you were the right answer, like they on the fence, that video testimonial will give them the last push for them to feel that they can trust you. And that's why video testimonials will help you close sales, because they touch people's feelings rather than their logic. You know, people people don't buy, they don't make buying decisions with their rationale. It's usually with their feelings. Okay. So you may say that's all good and dandy, but I like to base my business on referrals. Many people say that. And my answer would be video testimonials are very much like referrals. So let me explain. Okay. And because we all love leads that come from referrals, and for good reason. Okay. So warm leads, they are called warm leads for a reason, because they come, how to say, like half-baked. Okay. That's why they are warm leads. They already heard good things about you, and they're pretty impressed with you and how you help your clients. So your chance of closing a deal with a warm lead is naturally much higher than with a casual prospect. The problem is, how many leads like that do you get in a month? Yeah. And are they enough to fill your pipeline? Referral source, as good and as generous as they may be, will only give you referrals once in a while. You know that unless you are extremely lucky, you cannot base entirely your business in this kind of referrals. So let's stop for a second and ask ourselves, what are referrals anyway? By definition, they're people who have received a personal recommendation to work with you, either from someone that knows you, or even better, for someone that actually use your service. And what are reviews? Like, I would say they're pretty much the same thing, but coming from someone that prospect doesn't know personally. And how much that matters? Not so much. And let me tell you why. Like, it turns out, another research here says that 49% of people trust consumer reviews as much as personal recommendations from family or friends. And that's important. So, as I mentioned before, people trust client video testimonials much more than written reviews. I showed you why. My point is, good client video testimonials are excellent referral sources that can work 24/7 for you, as opposed to referrals, normal referrals, if you use them correctly. I can tell you that I've heard from many clients of mine how they managed to close a deal faster thanks to a video testimonial that a prospect watched. So think about it. Do you know how many people check you out online and end up not contacting you? If you check your website's analytics, I hope you do, you'll realize that you may have lost a lot of potential clients. So if you had some good client video testimonials on your website or in your social media pages, that could really change quite a lot. So we've established that client video testimonials are great in helping you close sales. But to do that, they need to be done right. Okay? And what do I mean by right? So let's take a look at the basic elements for an effective and a good client video testimonial. We can divide it into two parts, technical and content. Now, on the technical part, an effective client video testimonial must, number one, be short, 2 minutes or less. People have a short attention span and will not watch a 5-minute testimonial, of course, not more. Second, have good video quality. Even if what the person in the video is saying is relevant, if all you see of them is their face is a silhouette against a bright background, or the camera is shaky, you will not keep watching that. And number three, have clear audio. It's very important. If you need to make an effort to hear the person's voice among a lot of background noise, you'll not even start watching. And number four is branding. The testimonial must be clear. It must be clear that the customer is talking about your service. So it's a must that they mention your name, the name of your company, or both. Not, oh, they are or he is. The video must also feature your company's name and logo. And most important, so it has to be branded. And most importantly, information to keep the viewer, to help the viewer contact you. So, because you have to remember, people may watch a testimonial, your testimonial, in places other than your website. I hope they do. Let's see on the content part. Okay, an effective client video testimonial must be relevant to your target audience, which is, of course, potential clients. So what do we want people to learn from an effective testimonial? Number one, the original problem. What was the problem that prompted that customer to look for help before they decided working with you? Number two, what made them decide to work with you? Why? Okay. Number three, how was the experience of working with you? Not in detail, but how was the experience? Number four, what problems or issues did you solve for that client, and how did you solve those problems? Number five, what kind of results did you produce for them? And number six, would they recommend you? And most importantly, why? Okay, because if all a client says is how much they love you and what a great person you are, that's very nice, but that's not really effective. So this is the structure, this is the basic structure, and you can check on the testimonials that we do. This is usually the basic structure of every good testimonial. The details will be different, but this is the basic structure. Now, how do we create? Let's talk about methods for creating video testimonials. There are basically two methods, like interview-based and do-it-yourself, okay? And a client video testimonial has to be authentic. And yes, I know that authentic is vague and overused, so let me explain. By authentic, I mean believable, engaging, spontaneous, as opposed to rehearsed, baked, and mechanical. So the question is, what is the best way to get an authentic testimonial? Interviewing your client or asking them to do it themselves? Okay, so let's start with the do-it-yourself option. You simply ask your client to grab their phone, turn the camera on themselves, and talk about how wonderful it is to working with you. Okay, now here are the pluses and the minuses of this option. Let's start with the pluses. Okay, plus, number one, it's easy for your client. It's simple. Your client can do it whenever and wherever they want. It depends entirely on them. It's really easy. It's even easier for you. There's no scheduling, no filming, just getting the footage from your client and editing. I really recommend you edit it before you post it and posting it. Now, what are the minuses? And I warn you, there are more minuses than pluses in this option. First of all, the video quality. Depending on the technical savviness of your client, the video may look and pretty bad. Let's say it's shot handheld, not with a tripod, it's shaky, very bright background, bad. Second thing is audio quality, and there may be a lot of background noise, or the microphone of their phone is not good. And please remember, regarding video quality, audio quality represents more than 50% of a video's success. Content, like I just told you what the basic structure of a good testimonial is. So you know your clients is going to say good things about you, but whatever they say, it may not be relevant to a prospect, and it may be difficult to edit because they will be speaking freely with no order. So in short, the content may be unusable in many times. And again, that word authenticity. Now, if your client is very diligent and they decide to write the testimonial down and read it or memorize, the result may sound very mechanical and not authentic. Okay, so that's a problem too. And number five, it's a headache. It is a headache for your client. They need to come up with what to say. They need to shoot it. It is a headache for it. And so that's a reason many times people will not do it, even if you ask them very nicely. So let's look at the interview-based option. Okay, the pluses. First of all, video quality. Like either if you're doing it remotely or on location, you can make sure that your client is well framed, has good lighting, good background, etc. Second thing is audio quality. You can make sure a good microphone is being used and that your client is a quiet enough space. And then content that we already covered, you have full control over the content because you are asking the questions, and those questions were crafted with the intention of getting specific answers that you know that will be relevant to potential clients. So the questions also make it much easier for you to edit and shorten the video. To remember, the testimonial doesn't need to be longer than 2 minutes. Okay. And here it comes again, authenticity. Why? Because your client will be speaking freely, answering your questions, and it really doesn't get any more authentic than that. That's one of the reasons that in my company, we only do interview-based testimonials, to full disclosure, because of this. It's much more authentic. And it's less a headache for your client. There's nothing they need to prepare. They just need to show up and answer your questions as candidly as they can. Okay, so the minuses of this kind of interview. Well, it's more work for you. You need to schedule, you need to prepare questions, you need to shoot it remotely or on location and edit it. It may be more expensive because unless you know how to shoot and edit yourself, you'll want to hire a professional to do that, and that will obviously cost you money. It's some work for your client. In case you're doing it on location, your client will need to invest a significant amount of time for the interview. If you come with a crew, and they will also need to, if they need to go somewhere to do it, they will have to invest even more time. Yeah. So in conclusion, it's safe to say that the interview option will yield better results. More than that, having heard the results that many of my clients achieved for interview-based testimonials, I can say it's a very good investment. It's a worthy investment. Now, talking about investment, as I mentioned before, this kind of video testimony involves investing money and also bothering your client and having them invest a lot of time. So now that was true until a new option for this kind of testimonials appeared. And this option happens to be, and again, full disclosure here, something that we do a lot at our company. And this is called remote video testimonials. So remote video testimonials are like, I'll just read what we have there: professional way to create high quality interview-based client testimonials that are hassle-free for business owners and their clients. They are professionally done and very affordable, which means they're perfect for small and medium businesses, which are most of our clients, with a limited budget. So let me tell you how that is done. So remote video testimonials are part of remote video production, which is a way to create high quality videos, again, without the need for a video crew. Yeah. Now you may ask, is recording an interview on Zoom or Skype, does it count as remote video production? And my answer is no. The reason is the quality of the video and the audio that you can obtain using either Zoom or Skype or any other platform like that. The person on the other side may have a great camera, okay, and a microphone and even good lighting, but you are recording them over the internet, and the quality of the recording will totally depend on the quality and speed of the connection on both sides. And another reason for lower quality is the fact that almost all of these platforms will, in a way or another, compress the video image to make it flow faster online. And that also reduces quality. So the quality is not good. So we do it differently, yeah? So we can divide remote video production in two parts: the technology and the professional part. The technology is based on the use of smartphone cameras, which nowadays, you know, they can produce HD or even 4K video, sometimes more, meaning very high resolution. And to achieve this, we use a platform that allows us to record locally in a person's phone, as if they were recording themselves. So, and from the subject's perspective, it looks like a video chat. Let me give you an example. My client wants us to interview one of their clients for a testimonial. So what they need to do is introduce us to that client, and we do the rest. We contact that client, we schedule a remote video session, we send them a small kit that has a tripod for the phone and a lapel microphone and wire microphone, because smartphone cameras are awesome, but smartphone microphones, you excuse me for the swear word, are shit. They're not good. They are too wide. They catch a lot of background noise. So if you want clean audio, you need to use an external microphone when you're recording with a phone, okay? Always advisable to do that. So going back to the remote video testimonials, after the client receives the kit, all they need to do is download an app. There's nothing for them to write down or shoot themselves. They just need to open the app and show up for the interview at the time that was scheduled, usually for 30 minutes or less. So therefore, there's no hassle for my client nor their clients. The original footage is then uploaded to the cloud and it will be professionally edited. Now, the professional part of this is this. On the other side of the app, you have an experienced video director and interviewing that will ask questions that were crafted in collaboration with your client, and that will aim to get answers to questions a potential customer would ask, you know, the famous FAQ. And then a professional editor will edit the video down to no more than 2 minutes with the best parts of the testimonial, you know, and who has patience to watch a long testimonial. The video will convey the exact information needed to help a potential client decide to contact our client. And the video is then branded and enhanced with graphics and all the information needed to help a potential customer connect to our client. So just to summarize, why did it say no hassle for the business or the clients? And I also said affordable. And that's because video testimonials, remote video testimonials cost significantly less than a professional video done on location with a video crew. And the reasons are obvious. Yeah. So the results are pretty much the same. And sometimes I can say even better. So finally, how can you use, doesn't matter how you do your client video testimonial, how can you use client video testimonials? Yeah. So here are a few things that you can do. First of all, post it on YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel, post it there. If you don't, then create a YouTube channel and post it. You should always have a YouTube channel, guys. If you don't have, please create one. It's free. And one very important thing, remember, please do not, never upload your testimonials or any other video to your website. It will make your website slower. It will make it sluggish. Do not do that. Remember that YouTube belongs to Google, so people may find your videos there before they find it on your website. And once they are on YouTube, you can embed them on your website. That's the best way to go. They will also play smoother this way. So don't forget to write a title and a description using words that someone looking for a service like yours would use on a search rather than just the name of the client. Okay, these are called keywords. You probably heard about it. And I have a few videos where I talk about how to properly optimize your videos on YouTube, okay? Second, then post it on your website. Like embed your video testimonials that are on YouTube on your website on a testimonial page. If you don't have a testimonial page, create one. So create a testimonial page that is easy to find. The best way to start building trust with eventual site visitors. And make sure to have at least, I would say, 5 or 6 testimonials, different ones with different stories, so they can speak to different kinds of prospects. It's important. Next thing, important too, post it on social media. Post on any social media channel you have. Just a few important things. When you post on LinkedIn or Facebook, make sure to upload the video directly to LinkedIn or Facebook. Okay? Not okay. That's annoying. I'm sorry. Rather than posting a link to, don't post a link to your YouTube video. And what's the reason? This is what is called native video. The platforms will give much more exposition to a video that is uploaded to the platform itself than a link that will take people somewhere else. They don't want people to go anywhere else, okay? Next thing, include it in email campaigns, like such as newsletters or standalone emails. And remember, it's highly valuable content for prospects videos. So they can also be part of a case study that you send through an email, all right? And last but not least, use it in your sales process. You should use client video testimonials to help you your sales directly. When you are in conversation with a prospect, they're on the fence, tell them you'll send them a link to a testimonial of a client just like them. And this is probably, in my opinion, the most effective way to use client data testimonials. And I can tell you for sure, I've heard from a lot of clients of mine that they did this and it helped them close a sale. It really happens, believe me. And now, last but not least, we're almost done. One of the most important things you can do with client data testimonials come down to one word, and that word is repurposing. When you're creating other kinds of video content for your business, you can and you should use client testimonials footage. For example, if you're creating a branding video using snippets from 2 or 3 client testimonials, will make the video much more interesting, much more effective. You can also create great video ads using short snippets from testimonials, okay? And another way great way to use client video testimonials is to include them in case studies. And anyway, the list is endless, my friends, really endless. Okay, so now we're heading for a landing. And in conclusion, I hope I managed to impress upon you the importance of creating and using client video testimonials. It's definitely not a nice to have, but a must have. And thank you so much for being such a great audience, guys. And here you have my contact information. I'll put it in the chat, and I'll also put a link to download that PDF with the content of the presentation. Okay, and are there any questions?
Yeah, I have. I've got 2 questions.
Okay, shoot.
What's the cost of the remote testimonial to send to your clients?
Our cost for one remote testimonials is remote video testimonial is $495.
Okay.
In our case, that includes everything from contacting the client, scheduling, sending them the equipment, includes the price of the equipment, the editing, and sending it back to you. It includes the whole package.
Do you help them with the prep questions and all that great stuff? Because
absolutely. Our method is we have a questionnaire that has some ready-made questions, again based on, Fred, that structure that I showed. So you want to hit those points, but always people have some specific questions that are more relevant for one business than other. Okay, so usually what we do, we send them the questionnaire, and they fill out a little form for each client. Sometimes they want to use the same questions, but usually the questions are crafted in collaboration between us and our clients, so they hit the best points. So yeah, it's part of the process. Yeah.
Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Steven's got his hand up.
Steven.
Yeah. So I may have missed this part. You said they use their own phone for, where'd you go? They use their own phone for the recording, right?
Yes.
So are you recording, and you said you were recording locally on their phone, or is that incorrect?
Yes. What happens in remote video testimonials, the way we do it, is like people use their phones, but they download an app and they open it in their phones, and then they have a video conversation. Looks like a Zoom conversation, but it's not, And they put the phone in the tripod, they put the microphone, so it's steady. We help them frame it correctly. We help make sure that there's lighting. We send instructions with the kit, so they know how to choose a background, the right background, right lighting, don't have a bright window behind you, stuff like that, And on the day that they schedule, they log in, and usually I'm there on the other side waiting, and we have a conversation using the question that exactly what Fred asked. Using those questions, I ask the questions from the client. Sometimes and the good part about being a live conversation, you know, sometimes people are a little bit shy. That's good. You could say, okay, why not send the person the questions and let them answer by themselves? I say that's why an interview is always better, because you have the opportunity of you know, enticing that person, making them speak. Sometimes they will give very mechanical answers. You know, sometimes I ask people a question and they will give me a very short answer, laconical answer, and then, you know, I say, okay, but could you expand on this? And, you know, so it's better if you do it as a conversation. Again, that word authenticity that I use, yeah. So that's the way it works, yeah.
And then as far as you editing, I guess, holding the video, are you recording on your end, or is something they got to send back to you?
No,
like through Dropbox?
No, good question. The video is recorded in the person's phone. That's why the quality is high. That's why I explained it's not over the internet. It's recorded locally. And then we upload it from the video as part of the process. As we are interviewing, we upload it from the person's phone to the cloud.
Got it.
And as we finish the interview, immediately, that's another thing. They don't have to send us anything. We already upload, we download it, and and then we have the raw footage to do the edit. Because one important thing, Stephen, is that, you know, one of the main reasons people don't do client video testimonials is if they have to work for it, forget it. They will not do it. They are doing you a favor. So you have to make it super easy for them. So if I'm gonna do a whole easy process, but in the end I'm going to say, okay, now send me the video. Oh, how do I send the video? Should not do that. Like, really make it easy. Our system is very easy to like leave people with no excuse. Why? Because they're doing you a favor. So, you know, that's the rationale here.
Cool. That was helpful.
Scott's got his hands up.
Nico, that really was a great presentation.
Thank you.
I really like the fact that you gave us hard fact, no fluff. Our regulatory authorities are finally coming around to client testimonials. They're still ironing out the kinks. But I'm hoping that in about 90 days, we can have that conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for
Because
financial.
I've had success with the video that, you know, I have on my email, and basically it's just me talking about our practice. But the testimonials are far more powerful, because why should they believe me when they can believe someone who is getting the goods? Folks, for whatever it's worth, Nico's, when I heard what was it, $495 for one? When you quoted the price for the remote,
$495, yeah.
right. I had to go to Boston. I had to spend a whole day up there, and all in, it cost me $1,900.
Yeah. So
Nico, let's try to talk in about 90 days. If we get regulatory clearance sooner, I'll reach out to you.
I hope you do. And listen, I've done testimonials for a financial firm. They're not financial advisors. They're more on the CPA side.
No, listen, we have a very, very strict regulatory body. And believe me when I tell you, you would rather piss off organized crime than these people.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you.
Hey, Nico, while we're all here together, do you have a example of like a 2-minute recent testimonial that was done that you can share, so we can see what, you know, a testimonial looks like?
Sure.
That'd be great to actually see one.
No problem. Let me pull one up here. I'll pull one up right now. Okay. One of my latest. I did. I have. This is a testimonial for a ghost writer. She's wonderful. She's really so this is a testimonial I recorded last week. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Can you all see it? Here goes.
I have always wanted to write a book, and I struggled with what to write it about. And it came to me after years of working in healthcare and working in with elder care that there was a need. I saw a need for some way of growing the compassion habit or the compassion practice in leaders. The universe put a publisher right into my lap at a conference, and I approached the woman afterwards, and I said, I'd love to call you and talk about this book that I want to write. And then they assigned me Carolyn Rourke. She listened to my story. She listened to why this book was so important to me on a personal basis. She listened to the fact that that for me it's like a manifesto, something that I'm going to leave the world. And then she gave me simple but deep assignments. And I just knew right away. There was never a time during the process of writing this, which was a year and a half or so, that she was impatient. She was always really connected with what I was trying to do. She picked up right at the last minute. I mean, at the next conversation, she would pick up and go. I just knew that and I knew that she loved the project too. She was the perfect partner for me. She provided resources when I needed them without me asking. She would see that it was needed. So she's very proactive, and she uses her knowledge, which is deep and broad, to cut through the clutter, and you cut through all the fluff and get to business and get a book produced. I'm so thankful that even if I'm hit by a truck tomorrow, I'm leaving this book. It's more than just a book to me, and Carolyn made that happen. She's more than an editor. She's a friend and a coach and a supporter.
Yeah, that's a testimonial.
A very good quality. Wanted to check out the quality. It was great.
No, thank you. Yeah. What is that?
So how long does it take you to turn one around? So if we were to come to you and say, we have a client, what is the typical turnaround time from obviously?
I count the turnaround from the day we record,
Okay,
because yeah, from the day we record, a week, it could be ready, sometimes even less. What may take time sometimes is for your client to schedule, because let's say you introduce us to your client, we immediately send an email out with presenting ourselves and with a link for them to schedule and to give us like their mailing address so we can send them the kit and stuff like that. If they do it immediately, it could be again. So from scheduling, it will be like a week and a half. We need a few days to send the kit. But and as I said, from the day it's recorded, within a week it's ready.
okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, Neko,
Yes.
you did amazing. And I will see you Friday, but I have to go take my son to the airport.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alan.
Love
See
you
you
all.
later, brother.
Love you too. Okay. Thank you, Randy. I love your I love your notes.
You're welcome. Great job. Great job.
It's all good. This was
Nico,
very informative.
Let me let me put the Oh, this is my, to people that don't have it, this is my contact information. Okay. I put it in the chat, and I have more importantly than that, the PDF. I know this is a large link, but the PDF is in my Dropbox. So if you click there, you can download the PDF with most of the content that I spoke about today. So that's something that I usually send to my clients for them to know what to do with the testimonial. So please download it and share it with people if you want.
Absolutely. Very good. Appreciate it, Neko. Thank you all for participating and supporting. Scott's got his hands up.
Yeah, no, I just have one quick question.
Sure.
Nico, from the technology side,
Yeah.
where do you see the next evolution of what you're doing? Because, 2 years ago, the thought of doing this remote was like, so where is there anything evolving, or we just have to be patient and wait?
Well, I think one thing that is evolving a lot is and you can do it, you can see it in networking, the virtual networking, but I'm talking about more than what we do using Zoom is like 3D. So maybe when that technology is better, maybe we'll go there also for testimonials, I would say. But for now, what I see is just the technology being better and better in terms of the quality.
Great.
That's what I see happening.
Okay. Great presentation.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Yeah, just real quick.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. Have you done anything? I'm just thinking about for what I do. If we finish a space and the client's happy with the space, hopefully, would you do it in the space to show what's going on, or something you would not do? You keep it strictly remote.
Well, you can do it in the space remotely. If you wanna, let's say if first of all, your client can be interviewed in the space, and if you wanna show the space, that's what in video production we call it B-roll, additional footage that gets edited afterwards. You can do B-roll, and we do that. You can do B-roll remotely. Because remote testimony is not the only remote video production you can do. Lots of different things. So you can do branding videos remotely. We once did a recruiting video, for example, with a hospital in Boston Spa, which is up in upstate
Albany.
Albany.
Not Albany.
Yeah. I never went there, but they wanted this. They wanted to show the hospital, because they were recruiting veterinarians they have to move there. So they said, okay, besides interviewing our vets here about how great it's working here, we want to show the hospital. So I interviewed like 7 different vets and techs, and then one of their crew members, she was my videographer. I told them, in this case was a little bit more than just a tripod. I told them to buy one of those gimbals, $100 for the phone, a stabilizer, and we did a few sessions. Of course, this is not a half an hour session, but I did a few sessions where she went around the hospital shooting, and I was directing her because I was seeing what she was shooting. So I could direct her the same way I would direct a videographer on site. And the result, so in your case, it's shorter, but you could, and this saves budget. You can, if you have, and I would suggest, like, buy a gimbal, and you can shoot video of the, and I could do it with you, for example, because I will be there like remotely, shoot video of the premises, and then interview that client either there, or if it's easier for them, in any other place, and we added it together. So it's perfectly possible to do that.
That answers my question.
Yeah. Okay.
Say, Neko, do you do
Thank you.
anything with realtors, like the drone type stuff for realtors?
I've done well drone shooting for realtors. I've done it years ago. I do work with videographers that have drones. So yeah, it's a little bit different, because then it's not really it's not remote. Yeah, you have to go there with a drone. But yeah, can be done. And then you can combine it with an interview with a client.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yep.
All good.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you all. I have a hard stop in a couple of minutes at the 3 o'clock
Otherwise,
meeting. This was great, Neko. Appreciate it. We got a
My
big
pleasure.
week this week. Lots of events, happy hour. See everybody again, hopefully in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, we
So
have
a-
Brian tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's going to be great. Have an awesome day, everybody.
Okay.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye
See you
now.
good job, Nico.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Neko.